Hello everybody, I'm Tim Blair, and it's time for the Clay County Times-Democrat Weekly Web Update for the week of December 4th, 2013. Our weekly web updates are brought to you here on cctimesdemocrat.com by the good folks at Piggott State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and serving the region since back in 1930. Well, actually, it's the weekend here. December 4th edition's already been out several days, and right after that, we had Winter Storm Cleon, which came through, dumped a pretty good amount of first freezing rain late Thursday and into early Friday. Then Friday morning and throughout the night, we had sleet, put a little layer on top of that, but luckily the freezing rain and not enough to cause too many power outages here locally, though there have been several thousand people throughout the state of Arkansas and other places that have been without power due to the Winter Storm Cleon, the first one through, and then last night we had Dion came through, another little bit of a sprinkling of winter precipitation and some very, very cold temperatures. Now, we are fortunate because the original forecast was for temperatures to be down in the single digits. We have maintained temperatures in the teens most nights, and we should actually perhaps maybe see above freezing first of the week, Monday or Tuesday. But we'd like to remind you to pick up a print edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat. We've got previews of a lot of great events that had to be called off, actually. We had a story on the information on Mr. Corneliuson, the Grand Marshal down at Rector, but the Christmas parade, that fell victim to the weather back on Thursday night. Also had details on the Christmas Fest, which is being postponed. And coming up in the next edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat, we'll have all the information on all the stuff that was postponed and when it's going to be held. So we encourage you to look forward to picking up a copy of that. It's coming up the December 11th edition of the paper coming out this coming Wednesday. We'd also again like to remind you that the latest edition of the Crossroads magazine is out. Has a great feature in there on Larry Ross Norrid of Piggott and a lot of other good information. It's the biggest one yet. It's really good. It's the Christmas edition, and we encourage you to pick up a copy of that. It's available on newsstands and in different locations all up and down the region. If you can't find one, stop by one of the newspaper offices near you. Well, we did have a chance to get out before the bad weather came in with our camera a little bit, and we were at the Piggott High School gymnasium last week when the Piggott Lady Mohawks took on Osceola in conference play, and the Lady Mohawks pulling out an overtime win, and we had an opportunity to pick up a few highlights, and let's enjoy those now. Congratulations to Lady Mohawks. They turned that around with an overtime win over Westside in the first round of the pre-holiday invitational tournament and then lost in the second round. The junior girls also being knocked out of that. We'll have all the details in the upcoming edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat. Also, the full details on the Piggott Mohawks run into the Bernie Invitational Tournament. And all these tournaments were backed up a day. We'll also have rescheduling information on the Rector tournament and so forth. That's all coming up in the next edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat. We encourage you to pick up a copy of the December 11th edition to find out what has been rescheduled and what will not be rescheduled. Well, we took a little bit of time yesterday to ride around a little bit up on the square during what would have been the Christmas fest. Had the weather not rolled in bad, but had an opportunity to just kind of see a little bit of the snow. Now, here in the Piggott area, the snow and the sleet and so forth, not real super deep, but we had enough of the ice that it is treacherous. In fact, all the side roads pretty much, this street has been cleared off pretty nicely, but if you could see the surface on down toward the square, the side streets are just like a skating rink, and they've been polished by the tires. And these cold temperatures right now, I believe it's about 27 degrees here in the city. So these cold temperatures not helping it at all. So if you get out and about, we encourage you to be safe, be warm, take care of your neighbors, your outside pets, and the old adage I learned living in the Midwest during several winters is always dress like you have to walk. Well, with that, we wrap up another edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat Weekly Web Update. It's brought to you each week right here on cctimesdemocrat.com by the good folks of Piggott State Bank. And until next time, I'm Tim Blair reporting.